Hello, this is Cinnabon18, and this is my review for The Conjuring, The Devil Made Me Do It. For those of you who don't know, The Conjuring is a horror movie series that deals with possessions and demonic things and horror of that nature. I just watched the first one like a year or so ago, and then I got all the other ones, and well, some of them I had already had before I even watched and bought the first one, but I ended up getting all the other ones, and I just recently watched them before the new one came out. The new one is good. I mean, it's on HBO Max if you don't really want to spend the money to go watch it. But whether you're going to watch it in theaters or not, and you want to hear my thoughts on it, here goes. It's not scary. Like, not close. Like, there's very few jump scares. Even though I think most jump scares are cheap, there's very few. It's more of a story-driven film, which I liked. And that's part of the reason I liked the movie, is because it was story-driven. But it's a different type of film than the first two movies that were the Conjuring movies. And as far as the Conjuring universe, it's similar to some of the other ones, but it's still, there's not a one-for-one comparison to this one. That you can kind of tell because they didn't call it The Conjuring 3, they called it The Conjuring, The Devil Made Me Do It. Basically, this movie follows the Warrens. It's supposedly based on a true story, about this guy who pleads not guilty due to demonic possession on a murder that was committed. And this is all factual, it's not spoilers, and anyways, it says it in the trailer, and that's on the plot summary, so not spoiler at all. And then the film's basically just the Warrens trying to help this guy figure out how to basically get him the help he needs. Hold on. Like I said, I like this movie. It's not my favorite movie in the Conjuring universe, which, if you follow me on Letterboxd, I have what is and my ranking of all of them for what I thought and what's from worst to best, or best to worst, either or. And yeah, this movie was just, it was good, but it was not what I was expecting. And again, not scary. Like, I haven't really found any of these movies to be scary, but this one in particular was actively trying to be less scary, I feel like. The other ones, it's like, oh, I can see where, yeah, some of these scenes were scary. This one is like, oh, they tried to do a scare here or there, and then they wanted to focus on the plot. And if you're going to watch it as a scary movie, then I'd maybe recommend watching it at home, because nobody made a single peep in the audience except for me, which I laughed at one point because of bad CGI. So I'd recommend, if you're going to watch it, maybe watch it at home, unless you are invested in the story and maybe have watched all the other ones. I'd say if you're invested in these characters, it might be worth a watch. But if you're, like I said, watching it for the horror element, it's just not really worth it. I gave the film a 9 out of 10, which you can see on my Letterboxd, which my Letterboxd, I believe, is Cinnabon18. If you want to check it out, I tend to post my movie reviews there. I was going to a review of Quiet Place 2 on this channel, but I was just so tired after watching it that I just never got around to it, so I just decided to review it on Letterboxd. And if I have a lot of my older movies on Letterboxd. That's also where I have my ranking of all the films that came out this year. But yeah, the movie's worth a watch. It's just where you want to watch it. And if you're into these type of movies, if you're a really big scaredy cat, then maybe don't try it. But I'd say it's worth a watch. Thank you for watching. Please consider hitting that subscribe button so that way you can see whenever I post new videos and whatnot. And if you enjoyed the video, please hit that like button. This is Cinnabon18 signing out.